What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of ATP Garage. In this episode, we're going to talk about detailing products. So I actually made a short about this a while back. I did it on the DA pads that I picked up from this brand. And I just want to clarify, I'm not sponsored by this brand. I just want to create value for you guys to help you save some money. So what am I talking about? Well, in this particular video, I'm talking about detail brushes. And so for the longest time, I've actually just used these detail brushes made by a company called Viking Garage. I picked these up at my local O'Reilly's like probably about 4 years ago, and they've held up really well. Mind you, I've detailed several of my cars, friends' cars, and family's cars, so I'm not a professional detailer, but these have gotten certainly their fair share of use, and they've held up really well. Now, some of the hair things have fallen out over time. That's to be expected with any brush, but the newest craze seems to be these drill brushes, and admittedly, it seems like it will actually make quick work of using these brushes. These brushes are great because, they make different sizes. They fit into places that are not easy to reach into. And so it makes sense from a convenience standpoint that, the brushes will do a good job, particularly cleaning floor mats and things like that. So with this new craze of drill brushes, I've been on the lookout for, a reasonably priced solution in terms of drill brushes. Some are super expensive, some are really cheap. Some come in kits with like 50 pieces for like $20. And the reviews seem to be all over the place. And frankly, what I've noticed is the biggest problem with all of them is either the brush itself falling apart. So what I mean by that is the bristles, or the piece that connects into the drill, for instance. This piece right here either dislodges from the plastic piece and just free spins inside of the actual brush itself, or completely snaps off. And let's be honest, these things aren't going to last forever no matter what brand you buy, but it certainly is disappointing that some people are only going to get 1 or 2 uses out of them before having to throw them in the bin. So I went out and I looked for brushes that had decent reviews, but are also reasonably priced. And much to my surprise, like I found when I was looking for polishing pads for my DA, this brand, SPTA Detail, again, not affiliated with them, not sponsored with them in any way, kept standing out. They had reasonably priced products, and they also had really good reviews. And so I went out and I purchased their 5-pack of brushes. And so these are drill brushes. So as you can see, they have the drill piece at the end. They have different style brushes in terms of different materials and thicknesses of the brushes as well. But I do have one set up on my drill behind you that I've actually used, and this thing has held up really well so far. This is a synthetic hair brush. It's very similar to the one from Viking Garage. And it does you flare it out, and this thing does phenomenal on the floor mats. I can't stress that enough. You throw this on the drill, give it a good spin with some product, and it makes quick work of cleaning up the floor mats. So with that being said, I've been really pleased with these brushes so far. I wanted to bring it to your guys' attention if you've been on the fence about these guys. Now, with that being said, I will happily make a long-term review. If these do fall apart at some point, which I'm sure they will, I will let you know how many uses I got out of them before that actually happened. I will also let you know if they actually break apart from the backing plate as well, like some other brushes that I mentioned have done. And one thing I do want to point out, and this may be obvious, but the actual, I think they call this the shank that's on the back of the brush, it actually looks like it's intended to go into a lot of different chucks. And so the chuck is the piece on the drill. And so the problem is this will actually fit in your impact gun. I repeat, I would not put any brush in your impact gun. It's too much. It's going to be entirely too much torque for this little plastic coupler to hold. And I honestly think that may be what's contributing to some of the brush failures. Is this is not intended to withstand the full force of an impact gun. So it's really intended to be used with a drill. I would honestly put the drill on either the drill setting or even a low setting, because you really don't need a whole lot of torque. This is really just using the rotational force of the drill to get the work done very quickly. So that's one just PSA that I can throw out there, regardless of any brand of brush you buy, is just be mindful of these things it's metal into plastic. It's not going to be the most sturdy, most strong thing out there. And that's regardless of what brand you buy. And so you just want to keep that in mind. You don't want to hit it with all the torque that you have. In fact, you know, if you look at your drill, on the top of the drills, like see on mine, you can crank it down to 1 and it has significantly less power rather than you cranking it up full speed. And, you know, again, it just helps this stuff last longer, makes your life a little bit easier so you're not having to replace these all the time as well. So, again, if you've had any experience with this SPTA brand of detailing products, I'd love to know your experience with them. Again, I randomly found them on Amazon based on the criteria I outlined at the beginning of the video. I wanted something that had good reviews and was decently priced, and so that seemed to fit the bill. And they've been great so far with the DA polishing brushes or pads, and then the brushes that I bought and have tried out so far. I will certainly keep you guys posted though if you're interested in these yourself. Put a comment down below. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. With that, we'll see you guys in the next video.